This was definitely my first time at the Quad A Summit. The venue was a lot fancier than I expected. It was really nice. Everything was done really professionally.
This is my first time at the Quad A Summit. I think the venue was very nicely done, and me and my wife, we very much enjoyed ourselves.
This was my first time at the Quad A Summit. This venue was very helpful. There's not many chances that you get to talk to a 2-star command sergeant major that's been in for like 25, 30 plus years on a personal level. And I learned a lot, met a lot of good people, and I got to I know how to bring a lot of stuff back to my soldiers. So this wasn't just for me. I have a lot of new experiences and things I could give to my soldiers when I return.
So it's definitely a lot to take in over the course of 2 days, but I'd say more so understanding the role of aviation within the confines of the Army. Understanding almost every leader reiterated at one point that our role is to support the ground troops. So that's definitely one of my biggest takeaways is constantly thinking, is what I'm doing somehow furthering support for troops on the ground.
So seeing the larger scale, what goes on behind the curtains, if you will, of industry and aviation allows you to kind of get an understanding of the process that makes the decisions at the smaller level, puts it into perspective. So it's easier to gain that knowledge and to see the big decisions that ultimately impact you at the lower level.
So a lot of the interesting points to take away from this event, you get to meet a lot of senior leaders and have conversations with them at the different events that Quad A puts on for us, all of us. Future Lift within the Rotary Wing, they talked a lot about the future of the Army within the European sector, spoke of career and what's going to be taking place there. So a lot of information to bring back.
The most interesting thing, again, as a UAS operator, is how they're looking to use manned-unmanned teaming in the future, and the roles that we will be playing in that, and the excitement that the key leaders have for the UAS community in Army aviation.
Kind of what's going on in the world. A lot of the there's multiple sources out there that you don't really know what to take, but hearing it directly from them, really puts perspective on things.
The most interesting thing I've learned here is the Hall of Fame inductees and how much history there is behind it and the sacrifice that they have made to make aviation what it is today.
The most interesting thing I learned at the summit, I believe, has to be when I went to the envoy booth. They explained to me in full detail on how I could get my way from transition from a rotary wing to a fixed wing pilot on the civilian side. Like I was told before bits and pieces about it, but I actually got to talk to the actual president and the people actually running it, and they showed me where to go.
Go to the meetings in the mornings. They're really informative, and I found it very informative.
Something I would share with future sponsor soldiers is just to take their time. There's a lot of things to do and not be rushed. There's a lot of appointments that need to be made and time frames you got to make, but there's plenty of free time to go back and continue where they left off, because there are so many companies that you want to talk to and get to know that just take your time, have a plan, and just enjoy yourself.
Definitely would like to share with them that this is a great experience. It's been, I hadn't even met really anyone in Quad A prior to attending this. I've been a Quad A member for a month, and the fact that they just reached out to me and gave me this great opportunity to come here and network and experience without even knowing anything about me as a person, I think speaks volumes about Quad A as an organization.
For the future sponsor soldiers, I would say this event is what you make of it. Get out there, shake hands, talk to people, and you're the one that's ultimately in charge and responsible for your own career. So network with those individuals and just be friendly and approachable, and you'll go a long way.
the connections and networking you're going to get from here, it's something you'll never be able to experience ever anywhere else. Yeah, it's a great humbling experience, and they treat you so well.
Don't be afraid to take opportunities when they present themselves. Just engage with key leaders. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to give your input on how you would feel something could work better, because they could be thinking in a different operational mindset.
So, as a future sponsored soldier, once you receive the initial email, the notification process begins, and I highly encourage you to take the time to look at the Quad A websites and all the information they provide to you to develop how you want to essentially go about the time that you're here. There are so many events to attend that I highly recommend that you take the time to jot down the events you want to go to, get a nice timeline for yourself, and take full advantage of what's available here for you.